Hey friends, welcome to my workshop on this wonderful Monday day. And today is wonderful sunny Monday. Today is day 3 on my 12 days of tools. And thank you for your patience over the weekend. But during the winter season, I love playing my hockey, so I got to take time off to play hockey. So on this Monday, we're going to do tool number 3. And I think the next tool that every homeowner should have in their arsenal are the pliers. So pliers, like the hammer and like the screwdriver, have been around for a really long time. Probably the first pliers were from the Bronze Age, which is like 1200 BC, something like that, to take molten lava, molten bronze, I guess, out of the fires. So basically, pliers have 3 objectives. They hold things, they grip things, and they bend things. And that's pretty much it. There's 5 most common types, and I've got them lined up here for you to see. And we'll start with the very first one that is pretty common is the slip joint. And guess why they call it the slip joint? Because it slips. So when it's in its normal resting position, it's pretty tight in between here, where the pinchers meet. It's very it'll grab something pretty slender because it has lots of room to close all the way. If you slip it one little knuckle to the next piece, it has space in there. So that just means you can grab something a little bit wider. So that's the slip joint. The next is called the channel lock. And these are the channel, sorry, just the channel. Just the channel, not the channel. Some people might call it the channel lock. I just call it the channel pliers. And these have multiple places so you can get something really big and have the tension, the torque to be able to turn something or to hold something really wide without your hands being extremely wide open. So if we were to keep this at there's not a lot of room in the teeth, if we wanted to hold something big, it would have to be extended where you couldn't actually span your hands to grab it. So that's why it has these little notches that you can slip the channel down and grab something a little bit wider and not have your hand at a uncomfortable span. So that's your channels. Next are your linesmen or your blunt nose, and these are used a lot by electricians. They have a cutting space in the middle and they have a grippy space on the top, and they're blunt, and they're used for mainly bending wires and cutting wires and twisting wires together for electrical reasons. The next are the vice grips or the locking pliers, and these are adjustable. So you turn the little level here, the little knob at the back, close it, and it can grab something where you don't have to hold the pliers. So once you attach this to something, if we attach it to here and give it a little bit of force, well, then it's just going to stick to that item until we unlock it. So that's why these are called the locking pliers. And the last ones that are the most common to have, is probably the most recognizable from a lot, are the needle nose pliers. And, just because they got a long nose and they're great for getting into small places. So there's 2 things that I use needle nose pliers for, and a lot of people use them for this other reason. It's for fishing. So, this is kind of a fisherman's tool, fisher person's tool. Great for, getting hooks out of fish mouths, or taking the barbs off hooks if you want to fish a little bit more responsibly that way. The other thing that these are really good for are actually removing mice from traps. Once a trap has been sprung, yeah, and you don't have a glove and you don't really want to touch that mouse, these pliers are the best thing to get that done, so that we don't have to touch that dead mouse. Yesterday, or the day before, the day number 2 was the hammer. And this neat little tool is actually a combination of both the hammer and the pliers. So yes, it's a little claw hammer. You see it has a split handle here though. And so it's got your hammer and it's got your claw part to take things out, but it's also got a plier application. So you can just open and close it and grab things. This is a lightweight kind of demo tool demolition tool, so that if you when you want to strip nails, this is a perfect tool for that. And when you're holding we really use these pliers for is keeping things stable. The best way to put a nail in without getting your fingers all munched up is to hold the nail with the plier and bang it in. Then for sure you won't have, the old carpenter's thumb. I have different sizes. They like the screwdrivers. They do come in different sizes. These are kind of the two typical sizes of channel pliers that you get in a set. I have this bigger one here because what I use this for is actually in plumbing, to just grab, so it opens up really wide, so you can pretty much grab your whole wrist, and I still have room. Actually, I can take my wrist out, but your hand isn't at an uncomfortable span, even though we're grabbing something as wide as a wrist. This is used in plumbing to kind of secure the drain when you're changing pipes around. So again, you wouldn't have something like this in a standard toolbox. You'd probably have the smaller ones for sure. Another interesting pliers that, I don't know if these are pliers or not, but it's a cinch tool, and again, it's for plumbing. But it's to hold things. It's for PEX pipes. So um, when you're putting new water lines through your house, a lot of people have switched out from the copper or stainless steel to white plastic, which is called PEX. And to join them, there's little sleeves, and these hold the sleeves in place, and then it's got a little click to it, and it crimps the fasteners to hold the PEX pipes together. So that's kind of another little. There's hundreds of pliers throughout, but really you just need, I would say, your slip joint, your channel, and your needle nose. Something that I'd like you to take into consideration when you get these are the types of handles that they have on them. So you can see here, this is a red pair of handles, and it's got like a red sleeve that literally comes right off. So when you're trying to hold something, and if you got to put a little bit of force on it, this sleeve will actually slip around on you, and it's very inconvenient. These grips are molded onto there and don't slip as easy, so they're more ergonomically going to be make your job easier. Also, the type of slip that it has. So if it's, when you get all of these tools you can get at either a dollar store type store, or at a Home Depot or Canadian Tire or any of the other box stores. And, sometimes the price dictates the type of mechanism for the slipping of all the joints. And when it's, loose and not tight, then the precision isn't isn't conducive of using them for the purpose that they're intended for, because they'll slip on you and they won't hold, and you might actually mar something, which is counterintuitive to what you're trying to do. So that is the day on pliers. Thank you for stopping in. Tomorrow will be day 4 of the 12 days of tools. And I'd love to hear in the comments, which pliers you may use, or you have used, or you may be familiar with. Um, any comments at all to help me provide you a better service is always welcome to. Either pop it in the comments or feel free to send me a direct message. That's it for today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 4 of Canadian Handywoman's 12 Days of Tools. Bye for now.